Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel for another tarot pick a card reading. In today's reading we are going to be diving into what is the person on your mind's current thoughts, feelings, and intention towards you and this relationship. So this will be a romantic reading, so if that is not your intention here, this is not your reading. Otherwise though, if you want to get yourself into a receptive mode to pick a card, I do have a video link down below as always on how to pick a card with your intuition. But once you're in your receptive mode, we have our pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and I'll see you at your timestamps below. Hey group 1, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about what are the current thoughts, feelings, and actions for you. So these cards are going to give us the framework of the situation, and then we are going to dive in with more cards just to understand more of, like I said, their thoughts, feelings, and actions. So first and foremost, we have Virgo coming out. We also have Psychopath. And then we have you're very close to achieving your goal. So this is interesting to me because, like, obviously right away when you see something like Psychopath, you're like, oh, but like this card deck, like, you have to put it in perspective, like, is not, like, sometimes they use very extreme words. So the whole point of reading cards is giving the context of the cards through other cards. And it's very interesting with you're very close to achieving your goal in Virgo counteracting kind of the Psychopath energy, because it makes me think of something like somebody or like a situation that is very thoughtful. Like there's a lot of thought that goes into this, a lot of strategy, and a lot of setting some type of goal, you know, like if I think of like a Virgo rising, they have Aquarius in the 6th house, and that's all about thinking about goals in the future and thinking about how to progress in the future. So there is something about this person that is somewhat manipulative about that. I think in their thoughts, feelings, and actions, they do have this sort of kind of like strategy in mind is how I will perceive this right away. Obviously, more cards are going to kind of tell more context. So let's pull some more. Actually, I want to use this deck over here to see more of what we get here. But this does, like I said, feel like a very thoughtful person in the sense that they want to have a strategy here. Now, obviously that can turn negatively or positively. Obviously, it's going to depend on each person. But it does feel like right now it is kind of neutral. So it feels like this person does have some sort of plan in mind about how they're going to potentially manipulate the situation. Now, manipulation is negatively connotated at first, but I always like to like progress my readers in the sense of like manipulation can sometimes be a tactic of like sales, marketing kind of is like the vibe I'm getting. And I feel like this person is sort of trying to market a certain objective to you, a certain goal point to you, and they're trying to get you to see that vantage point essentially. This is interesting because we have the Hermit come out. This is a Virgo energy. So like I said, the strategy in this person is very keen. It's very on point for whatever it is, like I said, objectively it's trying to get at. Now, this is also interesting because it makes me think of like a Virgo male, for example, that works in a way that is very meticulous, and sometimes it can undermine itself. Like it works very, very, very hard to try to prove its, you know, philosophy in a way. Like there's a degree of like really trying to like embed some sort of importance into what it's doing and what it believes in that I'm kind of seeing here. So I feel like this person right off the bat, like whatever their goal is for the relationship and kind of how they feel about you, they're trying to like really get you to also believe that and also understand that as its own truth. However, this person might do that in a way that is very reserved and really like keeping to that objective and not necessarily trying to promote, like I said earlier, like this person in a way is trying to promote a philosophy, but in a Virgo sense, like you don't promote as much as you like emote, you know, you really like just stand in that belief and act within it. So I feel like this person, that's where they're kind of at right now. And yes, we have the Father of Cups, so that also gives this impression that this person is very on guard when it comes to relations with other people. Like they know that there is some type of higher ground that they have to stand on if they want to keep their head above water. So I feel like this person is, again, like I said, very meticulous, very almost agitated by emotions. Like they feel a little flustered when it comes to emotional situations, and like they need to retreat a little bit and find some inner peace when things happen. So if you feel a pullback from this person, it's almost like they're trying to gather more information about why they feel how they feel. You know, they could be a very introspective person in that way and really want to get to the bottom of every single kind of element that comes up. We also have the Chariot here. So, like I said, goal-oriented is a big thing for this person. So, if they are on the means of like seeing you for like a wife or seeing someone that they would want to further progress a relationship with, this means that they are someone that is very determined to do so. Like I said, the psychopath doesn't always mean crazy bad. Like this is a very determined person. We think of it about in like archetypes, and like this person archetypally is very determined. They have a very goal-oriented mindset, and they see you as being somebody that they want to pursue but don't always have the capacity to do so because they have other questions that they have to answer, I feel like is kind of the best way to put it. So like I said, if they're feeling really emotional or really drawn to something in a way that like perplexes them, it could be it just draws them in a different course of action than like paying attention to you at times, is what I want to say. Wow, that's interesting. We also have the Mother of Cups. So, like, they're really interested in you. This person is very perplexed by you. Like, they find you to be so alluring, and, like, you have kind of a lot of answers to questions that they have about emotional states. And, you know, maybe you're someone that has a really positive view on emotions and kind of sees the joy in things. Kind of with psychopath here, I think of like Harley Quinn and the Joker. Like it's like really understanding each other's crazy and understanding each other's, and especially with the cups being like the Father of Cups and the Queen of Cups, like, or the Mother of Cups here. Oh, hello. This is a very passionate, like emotional understanding and really stable emotional understanding, and being able to really like perceive each other's inner worlds in a way. And like I said, like you get my crazy type of thing. So I feel like this person understands you and you understand them in quite the way that like really allures them and makes them feel like, I don't know, like it's a really healthy relationship of being able to look at somebody and wonder about them because they kind of mirror things about yourself. Like that's kind of like the ultimate like goal of compatibility. And pouring into another's cup, you know, it's like trying to fill your own, that whole kind of philosophy. So like I feel like this person is actually really resonating with you and finding a lot of solace in that. And while it might be, like I said, kind of goal oriented and strategic in the way that they are trying to maneuver the situation, I feel like they want some kind of like baseline stability in this relationship and want it to be something that like nurtures a common goal that they feel that you guys both kind of resonate with, I would say. We do have the Five of Cups here. And now let me get one more card. Then the Hierophant. That's interesting. Both fives. There's a degree of tenacity that is really coming through that's standing out. I feel like you guys are both very tenacious people and very much like what you like. And keep pursuing those things that like align with the things that you'd like and enjoy and like feel bliss from. So it's really interesting here because I feel like their thoughts currently are of mutual establishing goals. Like you guys both really are like, this is how we can establish ourselves. This is how we can like grow from a foundation. Like it's like a similar philosophy that they're feeling from you. Which is interesting because their actions are showing just kind of vibing with that and feeling like that is taking them somewhere. Like it's really not overthinking it, which I really like about this person. They're not trying to get in their head too much about it. However, emotionally, I feel like at times they can feel like they are picking a route that is not necessarily dissatisfying to them, but like their actions show that like they might have FOMO about other situations. They might kind of think to themselves like, what have I committed to this path, or what have I committed to another situation? Like I feel like this person gets really in their head about kind of emotionally the different routes that they could take. And it's, if we think about it in that context, like emotionally the different routes they could take, it's like they feel into it and they try to see like, oh, this area could have been good for me and like would have expressed this part of myself. Like they're very thoughtful, like I said, in that regard. So like their actions that sometimes can be remorseful and like showcase, you know, duty to you, but also like maybe somehow missing out on something else. So like they're in, maybe that's like that psychopath energy coming through, like the unpredictable, conniving. Like this person, while it seems like sometimes they will choose you, they might have some degree of like hesitation or worry about it, or like I said, FOMO, like there's another option that could have been better, and like they're kind of not 100% satisfied. With Virgo energy too, I always think of the Shania Twain song that's like, you don't impress me much. Like that's very much this energy here, where it's like nothing can be good enough sometimes. And I think that's just this person's general output, like outlook on life. Output. That's funny I said output though, because I feel like this person, that might be how they display themselves. They might be somebody that says like, oh yeah, it's okay, it's fine. Like, you know, they never act overly zested by life and like overly ecstatic, and like things are like really like getting them going. Like, and that might be something that you notice about them. Just want to say, but like their thoughts about you straight off the bat, like I said, are very like, they're very thoughtful. They understand that like there is some kind of motivation that equally like gets you both going and gets you guys kind of centered in one kind of goal-oriented area. And they really enjoy that. But there is this degree of like not being so sure about how that option compares to others. And maybe if like, I don't know, maybe if they're wrong. I think, but that's the thing that is kind of striking me about this person, is that they're one of those people that like, because they doubt themselves, it makes them smarter. You know what I mean? Like really like stupid people, I want to say, are like kind of arrogant. You know what I mean? Like they don't question if they're wrong or right. Like they just think they're right. So this shows me somebody with emotional intelligence, and with somebody that is like aware of their different options and aware of like the different facets of their emotional personality as well. So this person might want to strongly commit to one arena, and I feel like they might be really drawn to you and drawn to kind of the services that are offered between the two of you. Now, take that as it resonates, because it feels like you might offer this person a service of like just empathy and knowingness, and like just really being there for them when they least expect it. Whereas like this person might offer you some kind of service of like, I don't know, like job stability, or like offering you some kind of place in the world, or something like that, where you just feel like a little bit more centered in your purpose, essentially. So like, yeah, I don't know, it's very interesting though. Like I said, like the thoughts and energies of this person are really resonating with this type of intention that they have towards you, which is to build something deeper. And like, while there is emotional feelings behind, like I said, not choosing the right option, but like that's like a little thought in their brain. Like it's kind of the last thought in their brain, I want to say, is like they have a little bit of like cold feet, but it's not something that is substantial and like really takes them away. Yeah, because we have love spell here. So I feel like this person is really like, they're all in is what I want to say. They're kind of like entranced by you in this situation. And it's not like they feel deterred from you at all, but at times they just wonder about other situations and options. Yeah, we have move on. So like, maybe this person is habitually more of like a player type, and they just like to have more frivolous activities. So this could be a big deal for them to be kind of circling back and into a different kind of connection that sort of brings them more into themselves and makes them feel like, wow, like I've met somebody that like actually understands me, and like I don't have to run away from them because they are misunderstanding me. Because that could be a problem with this person, if they don't like to be misperceived. So when they are misperceived, they run away. But yeah, they'll be back. So I feel like this person, I mean, maybe for some of you, you guys are in like a no contact kind of situation, especially starting off with like the Hermit here and moving into the Hierophant. It does feel like there is this degree of like communication or explanation that might be occurring to you guys. But it also just shows that this person's feelings are along the lines of being very like reminiscent about you. Like they hold on to you. They can't really let go of the idea that you are part of this journey for them. And maybe that's because you seem to have this like compatible energy about you. We also have caution. So, like I said, this person can have hesitations at times where they don't necessarily feel comfortable with the current situation. And I think that's more about them just like getting in their head and over analyzing life. Like literally like just taking it all in and like thinking about all the different lenses and viewpoints that they could have in their life. Like I think this person's very thoughtful in that regard, but sometimes almost too thoughtful, where they can really like stress themselves out because of like feeling limited and feeling like they don't have all their goals achieved, and like they aren't really meeting like the max picture that they could, you know, like getting like a full scope of everything. Like they can stress out about that. So like I feel like this person really does intend to get a full scoop on you, I will say. I feel like them panning out at times, maybe even away from you, might show them wanting to still do that and wanting to still like get this like idea of, I don't know, like it's like almost refascination in a way. Like they, you know, they're already fascinated by you, but like for them to kind of scope out and take some time to themselves, it gives them like a little bit of like a hint of like more desire when they come back around, and make them really feel like, okay, I remember my objective here. I remember what my goal is here. Like you put a spotlight on them in that regard. And I feel like that's why they keep kind of coming back to this situation and feel like you have some sort of answer to them, because like I said, you have some sort of empathy towards them that really makes them feel successful, and like they have some sort of abundance towards whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. And whether it's just trying to be perceived by you in a certain light or a bigger objective, I feel like it's kind of both though. Like this person really wants that, and they are trying their hardest to manipulate themselves personally to like become this sort of person that is what, you know, you and everybody else would want. They want to fulfill that kind of journey for you and be a protector, be a provider, be stability, honestly, in a very like emotional masculine sense of the word. So like, I don't know. I feel like with this person, your biggest advice here is take your time. Don't be afraid of their like objectivity sometimes in situations, because like I said, that's them having that like greater masculine approach of like objectivity and trying to kind of gain awareness of the larger situation. Like this is them trying to cope in a way, and like I said, like guide the whole herd in a sense. So while it might be weird to you, I feel like you should just kind of let it happen, because I feel like this person actually really has some interesting motivations and like interesting ways of going about things that could really like benefit you guys, and maybe integrate like different potentials in a situation that like wouldn't have been discussed otherwise, you know. Like they just have a really different mindset about things, and I think that should be noted like first and foremost about this person's thoughts, feelings, and intentions for you. Like it's not, I don't know, it's not like a frivolous thing. Like this person's very well thought out and very mindful, almost ritualistic about the ways that they try to like integrate things when it comes to you and their thoughts and feelings and intentions. So I don't know, I kind of feel like let this play out and let them show you what they kind of have in store for you, because like I said, it's going to show a lot deeper where they're kind of coming from. So each individual of you can kind of like gauge that for yourselves. But yeah, so group one, I hope this message resonated for you guys, and if it did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like so. If you want to book a personal reading, make sure you check out the link below to my website. Otherwise, I'm gonna skedaddle, and I'll see you in a later video. Peace. Hi group two, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading all about their thoughts, feelings, and intention towards you in this connection. So first and foremost, these cards are going to explain more of like the context behind this person, and then we'll dive deeper in with the tarot cards. So we have chaos starting us off. We have the answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. And we also have Saturn. This is really interesting just given the current transits with full moon in Gemini. We have that coming up in, what is it, November, December-ish time. We also have Saturn in Pisces right now, which will make an aspect to that full moon, I'm assuming. So chaos is very on brand for that. This is giving a very like I was going to say chaotic neutral, which is very funny because it shows somebody that is really trying to keep chaos under bounds, like trying to keep calm, trying not to jump to conclusions too much, too fast, especially with having like the answers you are need. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. The answers you need are coming in the middle of this. It makes me feel like you are in the middle of a shitstorm essentially with this person. Is kind of how it feels. Like, you know that there's something kind of brewing under the surface, and it's not necessarily like something you can talk about yet, is what I want to say. And I feel like the time where the conversation is going to come up will come in that time that I just said. Like I said, like November, December time. Where you might have to have some sobering conversations, some serious conversations that may make you feel worried and, you know, chaotic, and like there could be potential for disaster. But I'm going to be quite honest, with Saturn's influence here, I feel like there could be more resolution than there is disaster. So let me see with these tarot cards, like more of what we have going on, because it doesn't feel that catastrophic to me for some reason as I'm channeling this energy. It's just funny though, because I feel like that's where you're resonating with. You know that this is a make it or break it moment, and you know that this is a time where you have to really solidify what your goals are here. Yeah, we have the Nine of Swords here. Exactly. A very worrisome time. I feel like this person's also worried because we're channeling into their current thoughts, feelings, and intention towards you, actions towards you. So I feel like this person is also very contemplative about the situation, especially with the Four of Cups there. I think that they know that the offer is on the table, but for some reason, they know the chaos can ensue because of the acceptance of this offer. Like, the deeper social implications are coming out here, and just understanding that sort of philosophy. Yeah, we have the King of Pentacles. So it kind of makes me feel like, and it's also funny because I said the Knight of Pentacles, because this energy gives Knight of Pentacles, you know, like it's like really cautious energy and being worrisome and like not necessarily approaching the situation with open arms. And I feel like that's how this person is currently like thinking about how to operate here. Open arms are not necessarily their mindset, because they're really just trying to save themselves. They're trying to keep themselves together and not overly indulge here. I think this person has had problems in the past with overindulging, maybe in connections and friendships, partying, relationships, whatever. Like, this person really knows, you know, the benefits of that. They know that that can be really satisfying and enjoyable. But like, at the end of the day, this person is looking for something more sustainable. And I feel like their thoughts really reflect the struggle of that, and realizing that, like I said, like sometimes those simpler, easier indulgences aren't necessarily sustainable, and they're not meant to be really a worthwhile investment in your life. You know, it's just like kind of a frivolous whoa. So this person is trying to really evaluate this part of their life, and I think their feelings really reflect that. I feel like, you know, while they are maybe connected to you and connected to the idea of you, they really are trying to connect to something higher than connection right now, and really trying to find themselves and kind of the answers of like higher authority that they have in themselves throughout this chaos. So they're trying to lead with like a really steady mind and a grounded mindset. We do have the Eight of Cups here, which is all about moving on from things that maybe no longer served you. You know, the Seven of Cups is kind of a delusional energy, an energetic vampire card, in my opinion, where you might just be really feeding energy into things that are not meant to like really suit you in the long run. And that's what the Eight of Cups shows. And it's funny, again, like my misspeaking really like reflects kind of energy sometimes, and me saying the Eight of Pentacles makes me think of how this person could be really working towards finding some sort of better option for them, you know, something more sustainable. Also, they have the King of Pentacles coming out, so that sustainability is really strong for them. Yeah, we have the Fool. So like restarting is a big thing here. So I think this person, with you, for starters, like kind of intentions, actions here, they're trying to act in a way that is very much like not tied down, not overindulging, not doing too much, but does feel stable. You know, like this person wants to feel stable. That is their bottom line intention here. And I think their thoughts and feelings really also, like I said, reflect that. Like, reflect somebody that doesn't want to put themselves in a pickle where they depend on someone too much, or are in a situation that, like, relies too much on outer influences, and take that as it resonates. Because something about this person, like, they know that they build a reputation for themselves through the things that they choose to do and act in and whatnot, and like who they associate with. So like, they're really mindful of that, and they really don't want to cause any risks because of that. Yeah, and we have the King of Wands. So 2 kings coming out. I feel like this person is really acting in their higher self energy, in the regards of like stepping up and not letting influences affect them and how they operate in the crowd. Like, they want to come out on top of the situation, and they want to make themselves feel abundant by their choices, and like, they're not going to choose things that are making them feel less. So that being said, in a relationship context, I feel like their feelings towards you are like, sometimes they're top of the line, I want to say, especially with the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. Like, they feel like you have a lot to give in terms of stability, but also like you have an order to the way that you kind of show them affection. Like, I feel like you're not someone that's like, again, open arms, like how I said they're not. Like, it's very equal in that regard. Like, you both are very cautious. You guys are both very willing to sort of see through the chaos, but like not really interact with it. And I think that is a very telling characteristic of this connection, because I feel like their thoughts specifically about you really reflect somebody. Oh my God, that's funny. We have the 8 of Pentacles coming out. They really reflect somebody that is very meticulous, that is very methodical about trying to integrate maybe bigger principles into smaller interactions. You know, like, this person understands that, and they see that like maybe the more minuscule things, like the little things, can amount to the bigger things. Like, they, for some reason, they're very well understood. I want to say well read in that area. So like, maybe they have some kind of like degree or something in like, I don't know, finance, psychology, like something, I don't know, something where they have to like be kind of discerning, like something about that. Like, maybe they have a certain specific skill set in being discerning, and like I said, maybe processing chaos and understanding that like, you don't have to poke holes in something right when it's in front of you, like in order to like fully see a picture there. Like, there's something about things developing in time and not needing to like jump to conclusions. That's very important. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. So I, like I was kind of saying, like, this person feels like they almost have a really like good vantage point when it comes to this relationship, and knows that if they want something here, they're going to have to really like abide by certain principles that they find to be like the right thing. So like I said, like, they might have to turn down certain things, or maybe not be so available to you at times, because they don't want to be clingy, they don't want to be dependent, they don't want to feel chaotic in a connection. They want to feel sound and like they're understood and comforted by your energy. And I feel like, you know, most of the time that is the case, but like, there is times where this person like needs to work on things alone, and they feel very satisfied when you let them do that. I feel like this person almost wants to like explore more of you too on a sensual level. This is a complete side note, but like, also like their intentions and actions and feelings, like it all kind of comes together. Like, this person wants to figure out more of what they can kind of do with you in their life. They want to find a good place for you, because right now maybe there is some chaotic feelings, and like, there's just not an ability to really pin down what's happening and really place it in reality. And I think this person is really getting disheveled by that. Like, they feel very like perplexed by that, and that is something that they're kind of trying to navigate right now. But a big part of what they're trying to navigate too is just an overall resourcefulness of their energy and of their mind, and trying to make sure that they're focusing their energy on the right things and not things that are depressing to them, or like kind of negligent to like their goals, you know, like they don't want to focus on things that aren't right for them. They want to focus on their path ahead of them. So as long as you feel, I should say, as long as they feel that you're aligned with that, I feel like they're okay with keeping you in their arena. It just feels like sometimes they get a little wary. I want to see kind of more of what their fears are here. Maybe more of what they're struggling about in this connection. Obviously with the the 8 of Swords coming out, they kind of have this, no, that's the 9 of Swords. With the 9 of Swords coming out, they kind of have this like degree of, obviously, worry. I mean, this card is just screaming worry, but like it gives this degree of like catastrophizing is what I want to say. Like, especially with the 4 of Cups here, like it's just kind of thinking the worst almost of what is being offered to you at times. So this is interesting. We have the card of Falling. So that's interesting. What else? And Drowning. Okay, this person really doesn't want to be out of control. They feel like they can at times really get caught up in chaotic situations. Maybe situations, like I said, that aren't really serving to them and aren't really good for them. They might be kind of foolish in that regard and really pay attention to those things. Now, I don't feel like this is something that will really inhibit this relationship that much. It just will be something that might cause them to focus on themselves sometimes a little bit more than you. And I don't think that will really hurt you, honestly. If anything, I feel like that's a good thing for this relationship because it shows a spiritual and emotional development that is happening that, like, sometimes it just needs to happen alone. And I feel like this person is aware of that, and that's why they spend so much of their time alone. I mean, all of these cards are a singular person kind of card. So I feel like this person understands kind of what is meant to be their chaos and what is not something that is meant to be brought to the group. And I think you should appreciate that, honestly, because I think maybe in the past you or this person has dealt with people that are not like that and just brought the chaos into the situation, and because whoever they were dealing with didn't know what was going on, they just fucking made it the worst thing ever for everybody else. So like, I don't know, I feel like this person is kind of paying you a high regard in that respect of not doing that to you and trying to take everything for what it's worth. And when they are in that space of not really feeling in control and feeling really chaotic and kind of bound to whatever situation it is, they turn to themselves and like their higher selves in a way. And, you know, while that might feel like they're turning away from you, it's like they're working on themselves. Like you can't knock that. You know what I mean? Like we're all here for a purpose. We're all here for a higher spiritual purpose too. And I feel like this person like resonates with that and kind of goes on that track and maybe defies other people while they do that. You know, like it's not always a promising path that this person takes. They might know that they might cause rifts because they do that, but at the end of the day, they do that because they know like there's answers where they're headed, and that's kind of all they want, honestly. They just want answers. That's how they'll feel like their head is above water and like they're not falling into a pit of despair, you know? Like that's just kind of some people's vibes, and you have to take it for what it is, especially because this person is really worthwhile underneath all of this. Like they have a deep underlying layer to them. So the more that you kind of take follow their lead, I guess, the more you might kind of resonate with their logic and understand maybe why they do what they do, essentially. So yeah, group 2, I hope this message resonated for you, and if it did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like this. If you want to book a personal reading, make sure you check out my website link down below as always. Otherwise, I will see you guys in a later video. Peace. Hi group 3, let's get started with your tarot pick a card reading today, all about what are their current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards you in this connection. So we're going to lay out the framework for this connection first with these first 3 cards, and then we're going to dive in with more tarot cards. But we have Libra starting out. We also have a time to give rather than take. And we have hopeless. Okay, this is interesting to me because honestly with Libra coming out, it gives me hope for this person in this relationship. It makes me feel like this person is looking for a relationship, but they might be in a space where they are, like it says here, like needing you to give them something. Now, if you are in obviously a relationship that is not, like, you have just been giving them a lot, like, this may be not a good connection, but, like, I don't know, if this has been a pretty even going, like, give and take kind of connection thus far, I feel like for you right now, this is kind of guiding you to give this person a little bit more love and give them a little bit more selfless compliments and just, like, make them feel good is kind of what I want to say, because it feels like this person is really, like, hopeful towards this relationship, but maybe just at a loss for life right now. Like, they just don't feel like they have enough control over life and their current positioning with things, maybe like the options that are available to them right now in life otherwise besides this relationship are something that they're not really ecstatic about. But I feel like you can kind of drive this person in a good way. Like, you really inspire them to kind of giddy on up and, like, get going with things. And I feel like this person really admires that about you, because sometimes they have a hard time self-starting. They have a hard time getting themselves going. So it just feels really generous in their eyes that you, like, see something in them and want them to be better and, like, kind of help them grow and that sort of thing. So the more that you offer that to them, I feel like the more that this person feels really, like, happy about this relationship and just kind of insightful and, like, almost like they have a better grip on life, honestly. And, like, I don't think, you know, obviously this card is very, like, solemn and just, it gives a kind of a negative tone, but I feel like this person, you know, that could be truly things that they struggle with, and you might be a really guiding light for them in understanding themselves and understanding their role here on earth more. So take that for what it's worth. Oh, we have the Lovers. Exactly. I felt like a really good vibe about this person, like I said, in a romantic sense. I feel like they're really a giver and a lover, and, like, they just want to be loved and to share love. And, like, they sometimes feel like that is a downfall and a bad characteristic about them. And I feel like that's some of their thoughts and feelings. Like, they know that they're very capable of being someone that is loving and kind and giving. And like I said, maybe they're at this point in their life where they feel like that is not worth anything and that hasn't been worth anything. So, like, you could really change their mindset is what I want to say here. And we do have the Ten of Swords on the back of the deck. So like I said, they're very, like, caught up on this and feeling really hopeless about that kind of feeling about them. You know, to be a lover is a very hard life path, in my opinion. I totally consider myself a lover girl, and it's not for the weak, I will say, you know, to love deeply and whatnot. And I think this could be something you actually really resonate with. I feel like you could be someone that really finds joy in filling other people's cups and really sees potential in everybody and in love and in connections and stuff like that. So, like I said, like, this hopeless romantic vibe is kind of coming out here for the overall vibe of the connection. And I think both of you guys really struggle with this, but also know that, like, you're like this for a reason is what I want to say. Like, there's not, you know, I feel like both of you have this capacity for a reason. And while it might at times feel like it's kind of a dead end and not worth anything, like, I think you guys kind of bring the spark back into each other's lives and make each other feel like, okay, like, I can do something. Like, they feel, like I said, it's motivation. It's feeling like, okay, now I have a game plan. I have something to do. We have the Maiden of Swords here, which is that energy of, like, okay, I feel inspired. I have this new idea about things. And it's funny because this is my, like, love oracle here that we have, but, like, the heart here is so telling. And with all of, like, birds essentially being that, it's like having this ongoing desire is what I want to say that kind of propels you in a certain direction. And sometimes that is a relationship. Like, relationships bring out certain desires within us and certain degrees of, like, how we wish to be viewed. Honestly, you know what's coming to mind, which is really funny, is, like, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Like, their style has evolved so much since they have been together. And this is a perfect example of, like, kind of bettering each other just by being around each other and, like, giving each other an example, you know, because I feel like both of them are dressing, like, out of their comfort zones now and, like, just being kind of, like, different versions of themselves, but, like, they're killing it. Like, they're doing a great job, you know what I mean? So, like, it kind of makes me think of that relationship, though, of, like, yeah, you might not be where you're at or where you want to be just yet, but I feel like something about this relationship, it's like, if I just give a little bit more if I just do a little bit more, like something here magical can happen and unfold. And like I can learn something really valuable about myself. Like it's making me think of like a lock and key analogy, like just finally having the right answer. And I feel like this person and you may be in this contemplative state of like, I don't really know if this person feels the same way about this, but I also feel like this could have some hope to it. But like it's scary to have hope, and I feel like both of you guys are really wary of that. And so like the give and take in this relationship might reflect that, where it's like I like you, but like I don't want to like you too much, you know, like that's the vibe I'm kind of getting here. We have the Four of Cups here. Let me pull some more cards. I cannot speak today. I'm so sorry for everyone listening to this video. We have the Sovereign. We have Nine of Swords. Let me get one more. That was more than one, but okay. The Ace of Cups. Okay, that's the back of the deck. Witch of Swords. Here we go. So, okay. As for this person's thoughts, they seem to be very aware that there is one of two ways this could go. They know that they could just kind of keep to themselves, stay in their shell. They know that they can withhold. They're very aware of that. And they know that that is a plausible option, I want to say. Like, they have reason to do it if they wanted to do it. It wouldn't be the end of the world, you know. Like, there's something about them is like, yeah, like, I could do that. But I will say, this person, despite their hopelessness at times and negative outlook at times. Output is also relevant because I feel like maybe this person just isn't always feeling right, you know, and they might reflect that. But it gives me this idea, though, that this person is seeing that, like, they're a hopeless romantic at the end of the day. You know, they always are going to have room for extra, for more. It makes me think of like when I was younger, I always said like if I had like a dinner and I was full for my dinner and they'd be like, well, you have dessert, like you don't have room for dessert. And I'm like, oh, I always have room in my dessert pocket. And like that's kind of what I think about with this person. Like they always have room for like that little sweet treat. They always have room for love. They always have room for like a little extra motivating kind of factor. And I feel like why they might try to like neglect that at times, they know that like it really does satisfy a part of them and it really gets them going in a way that they can't deny. Like they're not going to deny it. They can't. It is something though that I will say, especially with the Nine of Swords here, that they do feel pressured by. They feel pressure from maybe implications of what this means, you know. I feel like this person doesn't like to jump into things without having a full scope of what they're getting into. That's that Libra energy, and also with the new moon in Virgo, like it's really information intake kind of energy and really trying to analyze the environment of what you're getting into. So I feel like this person feels like this environment is pretty safe, but they know that there's always an opportunity for loss, essentially. They are aware that like things could go sour, which like obviously everyone's, you know, we all know that, but like this person just kind of keeps that on the back burner of like, and if this messed up, you know, if this didn't go right, you know. So again, the withholding energy kind of comes into play there because they don't want to necessarily mess up. They don't want to necessarily do anything wrong here. And like I said, sometimes they can be really hopeless and at a loss for how to relate to people. But at the end of the day, this person is a lover and they want to give love and they can't help but to give love. I want to pull more cards here and kind of see deeper of what is going on. Okay, so we have the moon and we have the 11th house. Okay, I was going to say, like, this person has a very, like they have a plan of attack for things, you know. Like I said, they try to, I don't know, they almost try to, like, get the information. Like I said, like they want to know what they're getting themselves into, but at the end of the day, like they're still going to take the leap of faith. They're still going to jump. They can't help themselves but just trying. And I feel like this person like knows that they have to be careful when they do that, but they're not like holding back in any way, and they don't want to hold back. We have opposition here, which is funny because in opposition to like the moon or the 11th house is well, I guess the moon is more of like the 10th house, but like 11th house is the 5th house. So like both of those energies to me, like I think of just being very, very aware of like how you're regarded and being very confident that those areas of your life are stabilized from your intentions. So like this person, I think, intends to do things that are really like the best bet for them, but they also want to know for a fact that that's like the best bet for them. And they can kind of get in their head a little bit about, oh my gosh, we have Uranus and we have Aquarius. So we have 3 different energies of that kind of like detached analysis energy where like they want to get ahead of the game. They want to be able to kind of know maybe your next moves. That just makes me think of this hopeless energy though. Like I said, like if they've been hurt before or they're really kind of wary, like they're going to want to try to get ahead of the game and want to know where you're at with things and where your attention kind of lies before they like start showing certain attentions. They want to reflect more of what you have going on and show commonality. So like I feel like this person's intentions towards you are very much like friends, like lovers, like we get along well, like they just want to show compatibility at the end of the day. But also they want to show importance. They want to make you see them with importance and feel like they have importance. And that is something that really they like strive for in this relationship. Now, like I said, that hopeless romantic part of them, I think, can kind of keep them in the dumps sometimes, where they don't perform these grand acts that they think in their head are like the right things to do. And honestly could be the right things to do, but like they just don't do them because they like get in their head about it. So like it's kind of funny. Maybe this person could use some encouragement, or like I said at the beginning of the reading, like you doing some of these grand gestures and kind of making yourself feel not making yourself feel, but I guess making them feel like you appreciate them and like you see their message before like they're able to deliver that message. You know what I mean? Like kind of creating a really comfortable ground for them to say what they need to say, essentially a safety net for like mutual affections, because this person wants to be able to get there and wants to be able to express themselves, but they just get really like worried about how that's going to be interpreted for some reason. And maybe that's just because, like I said, they have a hard past. They probably gave too much and were too much of a lover in the past and just didn't get seen for that in like an appropriate light. Like the people didn't love that, you know? So like the best thing that you can kind of do for them is show them that like you really respect their way of being with that kind of stuff and like open that door even more. I feel like the intimacy here can be kind of deepened as well, because right now it's pretty superficial and like kind of seeing each other for like what you're showing each other. But I feel like the deeper the conversation can get, the more you'll start to uncover like, oh wow, this person actually like, you know, is looking to give more in this way or something. Like you're going to be able to discern more about where their like true feelings lie and where they are like kind of best resourceful, because I feel like it might be different than like other people that you've dealt with. This person's just different in general, I want to say. Like I feel like their feelings towards you are different, like the way that they view things are different. So they really want you to see them and get to know them for their differences and understand them for their differences and not judge them. Biggest thing in their eyes, I feel like, is not judge them for that, because they felt very judged in the past for some reason, and that really like I said, made them hopeless, made them feel burdened for some reason. So I kind of want to pull a couple more cards here to see. Okay, so we have nurturing. Yeah, like I was saying, like I feel like you have to just kind of show this person that you have their back. Like you understand them, that you see that like while they've been hurt before, like you appreciate their lover energy. You know, there's something there where it's like, I get it, but like let's continue it. Like that's not a bad thing. Like you're showing appreciation for something that once shamed. Yeah, we have recharge as well. One more. And then we have today. Okay, so these are really positive energies coming out here because I feel like this person, not only do they think highly of you and think that you kind of nurture this hopeless part of them, but you also help them see a rebuttal maybe to their losses in life and maybe where they can like take advantage of a good opportunity. And that is something that aligns them really well, I want to say, and gets them really back on track. But also, you know, just the information that they gain about you is really like entertaining, I want to say. I feel like they just really enjoy getting to know you and getting to vibe with you, and like this whole journey of development that you guys have been through has been really enjoyable to them. Their feelings, you know, reflect that. They really feel very enticed by you. I feel like this is a pretty selective person, honestly, and somebody that wouldn't just engage with anybody. You know, they pick and choose according to what feels right to them, and you have felt right to them since the beginning, I feel like. So that's something to take note of. Now, as it relates to their intentions, I feel like they are really just trying to get to the bottom of their feelings about everything, and they want you to kind of get to the bottom of things with them. You know, they want you to be on the same page with them ultimately, and to really see that they are offering you what they got, and essentially like they're trying to be as authentic about it as possible. You know, they may have really blinded themselves in the past and been somebody that was giving way too much of somebody that they weren't, and molded themselves to be that way, and like they just don't want to come to this connection that way. So their intention is to be very present, very mindful, very demure, if you will, and just like honest is the best way to put it. Like they just want to show up with an honest sort of glow about them and what they have to offer. And like I said, sometimes they're a little nervous because maybe at the end of the day, their honest actions towards you want to be something a little bit more lovey-dovey, and they're scared to that. So like I said, create a platform for them, and I feel like this person will thrive. Like they just need like a place where they can do that, though, is kind of how their brain works with it. So but yeah, group 3, I hope this message resonated for you guys. And if it did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more intuitively channeled messages like this. If you want to book a personal reading with me, make sure you check out the link below as always to my website. Otherwise, I will see you guys in a later video. Peace.